Fertility Transition. Between 1890 and 1920, marital fertility began to decline in most European provinces, with a median decline of about 40% from 1870 to 1930. Most economic theories of fertility start with the idea that couples wish to have a certain number of surviving children rather than births per se. Some of the improvement in child survival is itself a response to parental decisions to invest more in the health and welfare of a smaller number of children. These issues of parental investment in children suggest that fertility will also be influenced by how economic change influences the cost and benefits of childbearing. Bearing and rearing children is time intensive. Technological progress and increasing physical and human capital make labor more productive, raising the value of time in all activities, which makes children increasingly costly relative to consumption goods. Since women have had primary responsibility for childbearing and rearing, variations in the productivity of women have been particularly important. Rising incomes have shifted consumption demand toward non-agricultural goods and services, for which educated labor is a more important input. Overall, these patterns have several effects. Children become more expensive, their economic contributions are diminished by school time, and educated parents have higher value of time, which raises the opportunity cost of child rearing. Furthermore, parents with higher incomes choose to devote more resources to each child, and since this raises the cost of each child, it also leads to fewer children. The combination of fertility and mortality determines population growth. Between 1950 and 2050, the actual projected trajectories for the more, less, and least developed countries are plotted. One is a trajectory for Europe from 1800 to 1950. The endpoint of this trajectory in 1950 is quite close to the start point for the more developed countries. The starting points of these demographic paths differ somewhat. India had higher initial fertility and mortality than Europe, as did the least developed countries relative to the less developed countries in 1950, which in turn had a far higher mortality and fertility than the more developed countries in that year. Except for India, the starting points all indicate moderate for Europe to rapid for least and less developed countries' population growth. There has been rapid global convergence in fertility and mortality among nations over the past 50 years, although important differences remain. This convergence of fertility and mortality is in marked contrast to per capita GDP, which has tended to diverge between high income and low income countries during this time. Today, the median individual lives in a country with a total fertility rate of 2.3, barely above the 2.1 fertility rate of the United States, and a median life expectancy at birth of 68 years compared to 77 years for the United States.